lose that nice vibrant glow. Okay, and now we can go in with setting powder, which I'm going to use the all-nighter loose setting powder. Let's see, I just like to lightly set under the contour. For me, I don't really bake too long. Sometimes I find on camera it can look like too powdery, so I just like to apply just very little. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to go in. Let me see. I'm going to start to add a little definition to the contour. Going in with my powder, I like to keep it the darkest on the closest to the hairline. And anytime I'm using any powders, I always like to stipple rather than do a sweep, because this way your brush is fanning out and giving you a nice seamless blend. See, baby? I'm just going to go along the hairline. And again, just really stippling that in and allowing it to give a nice, smooth blend. Okay. So now I'm just going to go ahead and dust that off again. Turn this way. And then before I apply blush, I like to add a little bit of highlighter to the skin, because sometimes I feel like when I add highlighter last, it kind of separates, or you can see the line of where my highlight is, and I just want everything to look really seamless. So before I do that, I'm going to take a little bit of that vitamin C one more time. Spray the skin. This way the highlighter just catches and grabs, and it melts into her skin rather than like a powdered highlighter sitting on top. So I'm going to go in with the highlight from the Threesome palette. I'm just going to blend that right in, taking it up to the temple. Turn it this way. A little right above the brow. Okay. All right, so now my new favorite product is going to be our Hydro Blush. These, just like the foundation, they're going to give you a lot of hydration, but they're going to give you this glowy finish rather than more of a matte finish, which a lot of creams do. A little goes a long way. I'm just going to do about like 2 little dots. I always start off soft. Has anyone here used Hydro Blush? Love? It's so beautiful. The finish is amazing. Super glowy. You can, but I love, just because it's such a fine drop, I feel like I get the perfect amount through the dropper. But you can do that as well and apply it with a sponge. It actually applies with a sponge really beautifully. Watch. Just for a little extra texture. Just do one more dot. And I'm going to take this kind of like up to the temple.
So this product mixes well with powder too?
Yeah, I love this product too because you can use it on top of powder and it's not going to help separate your powder. Okay, I'm going to have to go a little this way. I always start off with 2 dots just to see if I need more, but I'm going to do 3 since the 3rd dot was needed for the finish I wanted to achieve. Okay, let me see. Perfect. Gag, gag. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this coral blush. I'm just going to, before I apply powder, especially blush, because most blushes are really pigmented, I always just pat it on the back of my hand, get that excess removed. I remember the first time I ever applied this, I was working at the makeup counter for Urban Decay in Macy's. And I went ahead and put this on someone, not testing it out first, and she literally had bright pigment just stuck on the side of her cheek, and I was screaming inside. And I was literally sitting there trying to blend it out for like 5 minutes, and I was like, everything's good, you look good. I know, yeah, right. And I'm just gonna go back in one more time with my sponge. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so now that complexion is at a good place, and we'll do final touches at the end, I'm gonna go ahead and start on eyes. So for the eyes, I'm gonna start with brows first. I love a laminated brow. I love a full fluffy brow. So if you've never used our Subversion Lash Primer on your brows, you're not doing it right. This will hold better than any other brow glue product on the market. So I'm just gonna brush it back. And I know it looks white, but don't worry, it goes clear. Look at it, you have beautiful brows.
My mama gave me them.
Oh, so you agree?
Yeah.
As you should say, yeah. And my favorite is, I was on set a few months ago, and I told the model, I was like, you're so gorgeous. She said, I know. And I was like, I love the confidence. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of press that in. Once you have where you want the hair to lie, then go in and just press that in. Yeah, I feel like this product is like a sleeper. Like not many people know about it, but once you get into it, you're gonna love it. And then the rest you can just, we're gonna fill in with our brow blade. And you always just want to brush it through a few times just to make sure any white that's showing goes clear. Because once you start brushing it through, the white just disappears. So now for one of my favorite products of all time, I'm gonna go in with Brow Blade. You've all used Brow Blade? It's like my everyday. So one side is the ink, one side is a pencil. I always like to start with my ink. Do just flick-like motions and create these illusion of brow hair. Goes on really smooth, and don't worry if you mess up, you can just rub it right off before it sets. But the whole purpose of this is to make it look like you have twice the hair, but also to make it look really natural. And I always go through the brow. Don't worry if like one line looks darker, one looks lighter, one's thicker, and that's totally fine. It makes the brows actually look more realistic when you do that. And I'm gonna kind of go in with the pencil side and use this to kind of define the tail of the brow. And we're gonna go in with a little spoolie, kind of just blend out any harsh edges. Beautiful. Okay, same thing here. Again, I always like to place my pinky kind of towards like either on my nose or my cheek, just to give me like more of a steady hand when doing the flicking motion. And Brow Blade, like after using it like a couple times, you kind of like learn how it works and get the hang of it. But it's literally like the best brow product I've ever used. And I'm not just saying that because I work for Urban Decay. Because if I don't like something, I'll tell you. And I'm just kind of drawing it in the same direction as the hair grows. Let's add a little bit more right in top. Then again, I'm just going to use the pencil side just lightly. I always use the pencil more on the tail of the brow, not so much towards the front of the brow, because I really like that look of the fluffy, kind of like more sparse brow. Okay, let me see, take a look. The other way, perfect. Okay, so before we start any eye look, we always prime with our original eyeshadow primer potion. This is like one of the OGs. This is the first product that kind of put us on the map in the industry, and we're just like, okay, Urban Decay, we see you, was this. And if you are an old school fan, you remember it used to come in a genie bottle. And this is when YouTube first just started. There was hundreds of videos on how to cut the genie bottle to get all the product out. And then once we saw that is when they changed it into what it is now, so that people don't have to rip it open. So I'm going to go in. This is completely clear, translucent, works great on all skin tones. But even though it is translucent, you can kind of see it does help to mute out the lid slightly. I just love applying it with your fingers. Apply it from your lash all the way up to your brow. Okay. And for today's look, we're going to do like a fun Pride-inspired look. I'm going to start off by using Space Cowboy Moondust all over. She is the moment. I mean, this has been like all over TikTok, but it's the most beautiful microfine 3D shimmer. And you just apply it with your finger. Space Cowboy is a nude, so you can use this on its own. You can use this on top of eyeshadows if you want to turn any shadow into a shimmer. And I mean, just look at her. Look at her. Look at her. Ah! Ah! Okay, I just want to use that all over the lid as my base, and then we're going to go in with some fun color. Also, this works really great on the cheeks, on the cheekbone if you want like a really beautiful microfine shimmer. And again, when applying it with your finger, you get no fallout. If you want to use it wet, you can do a little bit of all-nighter setting spray on your brush, and that'll give it a really nice like liquid finish. Almost give it like more of a metallic look. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with our 24/7 pencils. These are amazing. They're, again, something that we've won multiple awards for. They're so creamy. Once they set, they don't come off, and you can create so many looks. Whether you're using it as a base, you're using it as a liner, you can literally do so much with it, and it's like one of my favorite OG products. So I'm going to start off by kind of just adding this right in the corner here. And again, it's super blendable. You don't really have to worry about blending it too much. And then I like to set our liners too, if you want to really intensify that pigment, with a corresponding like single shadow. Okay, let me see. Okay, this one's Gold Mind, and I'm going to use the yellow from our Smiley palette, which is called Smiley. Just kind of set that in place. And you're going to use a lot less product because it's just gripping on and holding to that pigment. Okay. Okay, perfect. Let me just add a little bit more right here. Okay. And then I'm going to go in, let's do green. I'm going to show you guys one other trick when using these. You can break the top of this off onto a plate. And then take a little bit of your eye primer. And if you ever can't find a colored cream shadow that's 24-hour wear, this is the best way to do it. Make it yourself. I'm going to take a little bit, I'm going to break that down and mix it in. And you can do this with any color of the liners. And just basically kind of create your own cream shadow. This is amazing technique if you want to do like a dark smoky eye. Cuts it in half. You literally can do a smoky eye within a minute. I'm just using a little bit of eyeshadow primer with the black. You guys got to understand, back in the day, Urban Decay didn't have a million products like it has now, so we had to be real crafty. And then in between colors, I'm just gonna kind of wipe my brush. Let me see. Again, I'm just gonna use a little shadow, just kind of to set on top. And then I'm just gonna kind of brush. And again, this part really doesn't have to be too flawless because we're kind of gonna go back in and fix it later. Okay, open baby. Perfect. Just add a little bit more yellow to kind of have like a nice seamless blend. Okay. So basically we're gonna repeat this. I'm gonna do this with every shade. Next I want to use, this is the shade Electric Empire, just to give the green a little bit more dimension. And I always just have your primer there. You can just kind of go in and smash that. I mean, you can always get like really amazing, let me see, there it is. Okay. I don't know if you can see that. Right? It's like eye pencil pigment on crack. I'm just gonna add a little bit of that, like kind of on top of that green, so that they all kind of blend together. I love using like lighter and deeper tones within the same range. Urban Decay. Just kidding. No, I don't even know what these are, honestly. I've had these for like 15 years, and the labels are off. I think it was like some generic brand that I bought back in the day. You know, we used to make pro brushes, but we currently don't make brushes right now. Like, I always buy new brushes, but I always continue to use the same ones. But I typically tend to use two brushes. I'll use one to lay down color that's more flat, and then I'll use a fluffy one to kind of help blend. Okay. Is she falling? Okay. Again, I'm just going to lightly set this. I'll let the two shades kind of blend in together. And I always go back in with that shade that was done before it and kind of just add it on top so that, again, it looks more like a seamless blend. Okay. Now I'm going to go in Now we're going to use shade Deep End, which is like a beautiful teal. Same thing. Just going to slightly just applying that on top of the green. And then your blending doesn't have to be too accurate when you're applying the creams, because we're just going to go over it with the powder, and that'll kind of give you more of a seamless finish. just gonna kind of go on top of that, this blue. And I'm just kind of, you're just using like a pat motion to really pat that on. Okay. I'm just going to one more time. Next shade I'm going to go in with is Roxy. Roxy's more of like a cobalt blue, and it has a speck of shimmer. Okay. Just gotta blend out that edge. Perfect. Just gonna brush away any little fallout. Okay, then we're gonna repeat. We have 2 more shades. Next is Woodstock, which is a beautiful like hot pink. I'm just kind of building that base. Okay, pop that color right on top. Turn this way. Okay, last but not least, we're gonna go in with the violet shade, and this is in shade Psychedelic Sister. And this is a great way you can even make like cream liners as well. Look up. Okay, and then we're just gonna set this last shade. Look up. Okay, look up, baby. And with like no product on the brush, I'm just kind of going back in and really dragging this out to diffuse. I'm going to go back in one more time with the pink. Open lips. Beautiful. A really good trick too is, you know, sometimes no matter what you do, your eyeshadow keeps catching and you just cannot seamlessly blend it out. I love taking the all-nighter setting powder. This is translucent, it's a waterproofing powder, but because it's so blurring, I'll usually just take a fluffy brush, and you can use this with your translucent powders to help kind of blur out and blend out that hard edge that you can't get rid of. It really helps to soften the look too. Love. Does he see how good you look? Just one more time, I'm gonna lay down. And again, the reason why I love using the pencils first is that it really does save me a lot of time when trying to get pigment from the shadow, so that I don't really have to go too hard on the shadow. Look up, babes. I'm just going to pat that shadow. Look down. And when it comes to blending, I try not to always put too much pressure. I like the brush to kind of do a lot of the work for itself. So I use a really light hand, and I just kind of go and blend out and really pull that color through. Okay, now that we have the moon dust, I want to like kind of amp it up. Have you guys used heavy metal? Heavy metal is like top 3 Urban Decay products. It's this beautiful, super glittery liner that you can use as a liner. You can kind of use it all over. You can use your fingers, you can use a brush. Even a quick little trick, if you like to get really like crazy, is you can always take a little tweezer, kind of just remove the suction. And this way you can like go nuts. I'm trying not to like swing it towards you guys. There we go. And this way you can kind of dig in here and you can get like all the glitter. Okay. And then it's super easy. You can just put this back on the wand and then close it up and it goes back to normal. Okay. This one's a Midnight Cowboy. It's like everyone's favorite. But this way, it depends on the look you're trying to achieve. You can like really layer, or you can just use it really softly. I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush. I'm just gonna take a little bit of the glitter on my brush. Close. Just gonna start adding that on top, just to give it that like added effect. Just open. Yes. Open. Okay, let's do a little bit towards the front. I'm going to take a little bit of that highlighter we used earlier. And then just to add a little definition to the eye, I'm going to go in with our 24/7 inks. So now inks come, 24/7 comes in a liquid form. I love this. Have you guys used this? I love the ergonomic grip, so it really just slides into your hand, and you get a really nice, smooth, seamless line every single time. I'm going to pop on a quick little liner. Okay, and then close. Chin up a little bit. Open for me, baby. And then close. And I'm going to keep the rest really tight. Oh. Okay, perfect. Look down for me one more time. You can just really take this in close to that lash line. Okay, open. One more time. And this just literally just glides on. And then just like the pencils, it's waterproof. Okay. And then let's pop on a quick little lash. always like to wait till my lash gets a little tacky. Let's give the lash a quick little curl. Look down from boobs. Look up a little bit. Okay. And these are just my favorite. They're the Ardell Demi Wispies. Just great for like every day. And then while my lash dries is when I usually will curl the lash, just to save some time. Okay, once the lash is on, I'm just gonna go right back with the liner. I always say I do this to cover my tracks. And then to brighten the inner waterline, I'm going to go in with the 24/7 Shadow Stick, and this is in the shade Buffer, which is like the most perfect nude. And this does not move. With these, you got to work pretty quick. They truly are like fully waterproof. But I always feel like this really helps to brighten and open the eye, especially when you're wearing a lot of color. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not you guys gagging over a beige. Okay, and then look down for me, love. Just gonna add a little bit of mascara. I always use a mascara guard because the last thing I want is for mascara to hit my shadow, because no matter what you do, you're always going to somehow get a little mascara on your makeup. That's okay. Yeah. Down one more time. Okay. And then I'm just gonna have you look up. If you need to blink, you can blink. Especially works really great on the bottom lashes because you're literally just painting. Okay. Hold on. Just gonna do one last one right here. Okay. Yeah. Are you crying because you're gagged?
Yeah.
Is this a Q-tip? Well, is this? I was like, wow. Uh-huh. Hold on. One last thing, just to really amp up the look. I'm dying. Yeah. Yeah. Honey, we love to be extra in this house. Just using lash glue to just pop on a couple little fun star gems. No, you won't even feel them. Right, do you feel it?
No, I don't feel them at all.
And I didn't pay her to say that. Yeah, they're super lightweight. See, and the way they reflect. Oh. Okay, one more. And it just really adds like a little extra, you know. I love being extra. And I don't know how this tool gets it to stick, but it just does. It's like magic. No, these are just like, yeah, little metallic sequins. It's not rhinestones at all. It's plastic. I always apply the glue as I go. Because it tends to dry pretty quick. Okay, gorgeous. Okay, I'm just going to go back one last time with my translucent powder. Okay, and we're going to finish with a quick lip. I'm going in with 24/7 lip pencil in shade Nighthawk. Just go ahead and extend your lips big. Yeah, there we go. These are just as creamy, same formula as the eye pencils, just for the lip. I love this shade. It's like this, it's like a nice like cocoa brown. We're going to keep the lip pretty neutral since the eye is such a focus. And then I'm gonna go in with Safe Word Lip Bond. Give this a quick shake. Give me just a quick little rub. Then we're going to go in with all-nighter setting spray to set the look. And she's a wrap. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. All right, so, honey, they're gagging, honey. They're taking your photos. Look in the cam. Oh my God. It's a break, right? All right, now we're gonna take a quick 15-minute break. Feel free to get some refreshments and some bites, and then we'll be back for round 2. Come on, huh? tipsy? Yeah. We love a tipsy audience. All right, I gotta say, I'm so happy again that you guys are here. I love this group and I love the energy you're giving me. So next up, we have my beautiful model, Chaz. So, you know, we did the beautiful, feminine, blown out, gorgeous, colorful look on Gabby. For Chaz, I really want to show how you can really accentuate your more masculine features, and we're going to focus on skin, brow, and give a really beautiful, clean, finished male grooming look. You guys ready? And again, if you have questions, I love how you were just shouting them out and that you guys aren't shy to do so feel free to do it. So we went ahead and pre-prepped the skin using the Kiehl's product, which you saw me apply on Gabby earlier. So we did our 5-step skin routine, and now I'm gonna go in and start with complexion. So first, I'm gonna start to prime the skin. For Chaz, I'm gonna use the original all-nighter face primer. This is going to give you hydration, but also really fill in the pore and smooth out the skin. This is something I wear even when I'm not wearing makeup, because it helps to protect my skin too from the outside. Or when we were wearing masks, this really helped me from breaking out through the mask. And again, I just want you to really press this into the skin and let it melt inside the skin to give the skin a really nice smooth finish while still giving the skin a little bit of hydration. It's going to have that really slick feel, but it's not going to feel super oily either. And then when I prime the face, I like to prime the eye as well at the same time. So we're going in with the same original eye primer. And again, it's just completely translucent. Super easy, just apply with your finger. And our eye primer does come in different shades as well. So if you like using concealer on your lid, we have a concealer shade. Or if you like a primer with a little bit of shimmer, we also have one that comes in our iconic Sin color. Okay. So for Chase, I'm going to use our Hydromaniac in shade 70. Again, this is just such a great base to create any look. And from here, you can kind of amp up your coverage or keep it the way it is. This time I'm going to use my sponge. I'm just going to go in with a little bit of all-nighter. This way. I'm just going to use this to stipple in. I want to create a nice even base before we start to define and contour. How many of you prefer to use brush or sponge? Ooh, okay. Okay, we have half and half. Okay, how about who uses both? Okay. Team both. All right. We're about to have a brush sponge war up in here. And we're going to blend onto the neck, and again, don't forget the ears. And you can see the finish of Hydro. It just looks like real skin. It just helps to kind of even it out. And again, this product is so flexible. Like one color can work on multiple skin tones because it'll just blend into your skin. I'm gonna get my Sponge damp one more time with a little bit of all-nighter because I just love how it helps the product glide on the skin. And not only is it hydrating the skin when I apply this product, but also that all-nighter is really pressing that product in to allow it to stay on. Yes, it is a foundation, but it's like a hybrid. Think of it as a foundation and tinted moisturizer mixed in to one another, because it's going to give you a buildable up to medium coverage, but at the same time, it has all of your skincare benefits like kombucha filtrate, that's going to help detoxify the skin, and marula oil for the hydration. Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. Yes, the blush just recently launched, and it's part of the same collection. Same formula, just in blush shades. And this is like, if you're more of a full coverage person for every day, this is great on vacation, a quick trip to the supermarket. Just if you want something quick, fast, and easy. Okay. So next up, we're going to go ahead and do a little contour first. So with my contour, I'm going to go in with Quickie. Quickie is just really great to conceal, contour, highlight. I'm going to use shade 91NN. See, I really want to bring out his cheekbone and kind of carve. So rather than contouring the way we did on Gabby, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to use this product to really define his cheekbone. And then you want to blend this upward, not down. This is also, personally for myself, how I lose 10 pounds in 5 minutes. Okay, I'm just going to kind of stipple with the sponge on top. And you can already see it's starting to create more of a definition. Rather than doing your natural contour that would go outward, this is going out and down. I'm just going to use this to define the jaw as well. And during the break, I had someone come up to me and talk about creating a lid for someone who has more of a hooded eyelid, who might not have it. And that's what I love is the power of makeup, because you can use shapes and shadows to create any feature you want on your skin just with the power of makeup. Okay. And now when it comes to the temple, I don't want to take it all the way through. I'm just really going to focus it towards the end of the brow, up to the corner of the hairline. Okay. Because what you're doing is you're creating a shadow to really, it gives more of a masculine feature to have more shade here and then keep the lightness here. Let's go do this side. Again, I'm kind of starting right here where on top of the ear. Kind of bringing this down. Have you fully turn this way. And again, we're just going to blend up. And you guys can see how like creamy of a product this is too. So it really does make it easy. Okay, and then we're gonna, same thing here with the temple, just bringing it to the brow, keeping it on the outer corners. I always feel like with the brush, you get really great saturation. And then with the sponge, it helps to blend out any hard edge. Okay, and then for the chin, I'm just going to apply kind of like a little upside down U. Perfect. And then we're going to go in with the lighter shade now. We're going to do 70 NN. This one's going to use slightly just to brighten in here. A little here. Reaching just a little this way, a little bit more. Okay. And then once again, I'm going to go in with little all-nighter. I always love to use little all-nighter before I blend out cream or liquid product. Okay. I'm just going to start to tap. And then with this, I'm just going to blend down. As the deeper shade, we blend it upward. Okay, one more time here. Have you turn all the way here, babes? And then I'm going to go in with a brush to do the eye. So we're using same products as we did on Gabby, just different technique to achieve a different look. Yeah. Yeah, with Gabby, the placement is more if you want to like really carve out and feminize the face. So it depends on the look you want to achieve. So if you want to do more like, let's say you want to really bring out your cheekbones, I do the same technique where you kind of like start it off from the top of the ear and kind of bring down to your jaw. Where with Gabby, it's more of like a traditional contour to really help to lift and like slim the face. Yeah, pretty much. You can kind of tweak it based off of your face, but this technique will work on most face shapes. Okay, and now I want to go in with some powders. So first thing I'm gonna do is set the under eye. And I'm using more of like a warmer base powder to kind of brighten but also set the concealer. I turn a little this way, love. And then we're going to do the same thing right here on the chin. And I'm going to sculpt the cheek. One more time on this side. Okay. And now we're going to go in with some powder for the contour. Let's use. And this is just going to help set what we did, but also give it a little extra definition. And then this will kind of soften up any hard edges you may have as well. Turn this. Come on, cheekbone. Okay. And we'll just repeat on this side. Return. And you don't necessarily have to set your product with powder, but I just prefer to so that everything kind of stays in place. And then I'm going to add a little bit of blush. I'm going to go in with Hydro, and this is in shade Rebellious, just to give this like natural flushed finish. I'm going to keep his more towards the apple of the cheek, where we kept Gabby's more towards the higher part of the cheek, towards the temple. And again, you can blend this brush. Fingers work really great too. Just applying like a patting motion. For this really nice natural like flush finish. Turn it this way.
So for a more masculine look, I guess you do more mid-face opposed to like higher on the cheek, or?
Yeah, I'll keep it more down here because it'll look more of like this natural male flush rather than more like a beauty blush. More, so I try to avoid draping. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can even do a little. Come on, lips. Right? Like the best lips, right? Hate him. Okay, and then for brow, I'm going to use our brow blade as well, but I'm only going to use the blade part this time. Let's see. So I want to give it a really nice natural look while just filling in certain areas that may be a little bit more sparse. For him, I'm going to go in with shade Blackout, which is a little bit deeper. Right? You know, it's a brow blade shade and also one of the greatest albums. Right? If whoever got it understands. Oh, it's security. Wow. Okay, brow. Again, we're just using just the tip and really just filling in the little sparse areas. I have you turn all the way to me. Thank you. When I come up here, I like to kind of go down because that's how the hair grows. Maybe turn this way. And it just gives a really beautiful natural finish and just adds a little bit of illusion of hair where it's just more sparse. And brow blade comes in 9 different shades, so there's a shade for everyone. We even make the perfect red shade for the gingers out there, because I know that's always really difficult to find. Okay. Beautiful. And for him, I'm just going to finish it with a clear gel, just to keep everything in place. And this is our brow finish in shade Ozone. It goes on clear, and it sets pretty quickly, and you don't have to worry about that crusty white finish. And then I'm just going to add a little bit. I'm going to go back in with Stay Naked Quickie. I'm just going to use that for like a natural like contour on the eye. And you can see he has more of a hooded eyelid. So the trick with the hooded eyelid is to always find that, if you tilt your head up a little bit, you just find that natural like bone structure, that's where the eye socket is, and use that as your guide. Just something really soft and natural. when we get too close to the front of the brow, I like to just bring it up to the brow as well. Again, really gentle strokes with my brush. Anytime I'm trying to blend anything, the harder you press, you're gonna saturate a lot of color in that one area, where if you're being really gentle and lightweight and allowing the tip of the bristle kind of blend it out for you, you'll always get like a seamless blend. Perfect. Now, before I do a little bit of mascara, I just want to tightline the eye, and this is just going to give the eyes a lot more definition. I'm going to go in with our 24/7 eye pencil in the shade Legend. This is different than our regular 24/7 pencils because this is the waterline version. This is specifically made to be worn on your waterline or a wet surface. It'll grip and it won't come off, especially when you're tightlining. You don't have to worry about it transferring. Maybe look down. And I love doing this, especially like if you're not going to wear any makeup, or even if you just want to showcase your natural lash, because it'll automatically just give your eyes so much definition. Turn this way. It's something you just got. If you've never done, you just got to get used to. It just tickles a little. Okay. And it'll help see his lash band just so much darker. I'm going to go in with a little mascara. We're going to go in with Perversion. Look down for me. Fun story, when this mascara was being made, one of the team members on the team at the time who was making product for the brand, she was applying Perversion eyeliner, and she was just like, oh, this is so black, I wish I could smear it all over my lashes. So she was like, that's what we need to do. We need to make a Perversion mascara. So the team tried about like 100 formulas, and one night one of the girls went home, she had it on, she's like, my husband never notices anything. And I sat down, and he went, babe, are you wearing falsies? And she's like, oh my God, this is it. This is the formula. This is what we're launching. And that's the formula we went with. See, straight men are helpful. The lies. Okay. Let me see. Looking cam. Okay, cuteness. And then once the mascara is on, I just want to do a quick curl. Look down. Okay. Beautiful. And now for lip, I'm going to go in with, I'm just going to use a little bit of lip balm, and this is in Once Strangers, and I'm just going to use this more to kind of contour the lip. With lip balm, if you haven't used this, you just have to shake it for a good 5 seconds to really activate that vinyl. Once it goes on, it'll stay glossy and all day wear without you having to worry about it transferring. It's pretty amazing. We've tested it on lives multiple times, and it always comes through. So Once Strangers is like a really beautiful chocolate color. And I don't want it to be super saturated. That's why I'm using a brush to blend it out. Because if you were just to apply this color on its own, it goes on pretty rich. I just kind of want it to look like his own natural lip, just a little bit more color to it. And lip balm comes in 12 shades as well. So we have, your nudes, your pinks, to your red, and like your mauves and burgundies. And then to finish it off, I'm going to go in with a little bit of our Vice Plumping Shine Balm, and this is just in coconut water. These are extremely hydrating. They almost feel like a lip balm. And this is clear. I'm just going to focus that on the center of the lip. Okay. And then we're just going to use a little setting spray to set this in place. Again, look how delicious the skin looks, right? Okay, and then, where's Emma? Do it, Melena? Good. All right, and now I want to welcome back Melena for some closing words. So let's give her a round of applause. Thank you, baby. And give it up one more time to this beautiful man. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, y'all, you don't even know how much I needed you because I've been having a rough time of things, and this today just made my day. I hope it made yours. I really, really, really mean that. Sometimes you like forget your purpose or you forget your mission, and you get tired and you're exhausted, and you're like, it's so hard out there. And then you have a day like this, and you're like, I'm back. I'm fueled up. I'm ready to go. So I hope you feel the same. So I have this joke. Wherever I show up, I sometimes like end up like doing, you know how Oprah does? And you get one, and you get one. So I had an idea outside, and I wanted to personally invite you to a play date together. And the idea, like, because I started like leaking like some launches we got coming up. And I thought in a demonstration of like, we got works to do, and also in a demonstration of, for our team, like this isn't a month, this is a choice to work hard every day, right? I actually would like all of you to be the first to play with our new products that are coming out in the back half of the year. So we are gonna re-invite all of you back here, so y'all gonna be hanging out together. But we're gonna turn this room into a play date. So we're gonna, because I'm like excited, like I'm watching some of you and I'm like, you're gonna love our new palette, you're gonna love our new palette. So we're gonna have you come back and literally play and create looks together. And then we have a content studio. Woo! And so you know how sometimes you want like space to like be creative? We have our own content studio, so we'll invite you that once you're done with the looks, go shoot yourselves up, like have a good time, shoot together, support each other. Have your handles be the tool for the other. Woo! I'm glad you like it. Well, it came from talking to all of you. Because like imagine you guys, like if all of you started tagging all of you together, like y'all just be stronger together, right? You'll be fearlessly together. So we'll create the space for that for you. So look out for the invites. I'm going to look out for you. A lot of you got my handle. If you need anything in the meantime, you DM me. And then I'm going to see you on this play date. And please, somebody teach me to cut a crease by the time we play, okay? Because I am like the shoemaker without the shoes. I am not Steve. So I expect to have some fun with you coming up. Is that a deal? Am I going to see you? Okay. So I hope. Besito, besito, besito. Now, there's one way this is a legit, true insight on the Urban Decay team. Whenever I finish a meeting with my team, like these big, we call them the UDXs, like UD exchanges, I always end quoting the brilliant Walter Mercado. Okay? ¿Quién conoce Walter Mercado? Okay? Con mucho, mucho amor. Besitos.
Thank you. Okay, and now, before you guys continue having some drinks and more bites, we want to invite everyone on stage for a group photo. Let me just move this.
putting a little bit more lipstick on me?
Yes.
I can also put it myself if you're.
No, no, it's fine.
I'll just like sneak myself.
Stevie Nicks.
All right.